I am Jason Burgos for SportsNod.com, and I'm joined by a very talented football mind and quarterback expert in Crissy Froyd. She's here to talk about UVA QB Brennan Armstrong. Crissy, what did Armstrong show last year that put him on the radar for so many, college football analysts like yourself?
Yeah, I think it's a quarterback who's good both on the pass and on the run, which seems to be all the rage these days. He throws one of the best deep balls in the country. And unlike some of these other air raid quarterbacks, which are largely pocket passers, he does have the ability to keep defenses honest with his legs whenever the situation calls for it. So I think he just hit a lot of nails on the head, for lack of a better term. And he did have a little bit of injury issue kind of things he dealt with throughout the season. So I think we didn't even see his full potential.
And you kind of mentioned air raid, offenses. Talk to me about the kind of offense that UVA runs and how does it affect the quarterback that is running it?
Yeah, well, it's a pass-happy offense. I mean, it's an offense where the quarterback's going to have a lot of big numbers. And so we kind of have this phenomenon where people are like, well, are they inflated or is the quarterback doing it? Because, I mean, even if you throw the ball a lot every single game, the quarterback still has to be able to get it there. So they're not going to have incredibly high numbers if they don't do a good job of it. So I think that the offense in general is good for his stats, and that's kind of how it just affects the quarterback, I guess, numerically from that standpoint. But I think he operates it extremely well and is able to kind of add to it on his own with having this mobility aspect to his game.
And I'm sure a lot of offenses are running this kind of offense. So, what makes Brennan different than some other quarterbacks who are kind of in this air raid offense?
Yeah, well, I think not only his processing ability and his he does a good job with a lot of things, maneuvering the pocket well, fits it into some tight windows. So I think just kind of like what I said earlier, though, what it comes down to is this offense is based on throwing the ball a lot. So it's based on accuracy. It's based on fine-tuning passers. And so a lot of the quarterbacks that land in this offense, that do well in this offense, are pure pocket passers that don't have a lot of mobility to their game. So I feel like that's just, it's a differentiating factor for him that I think makes him better. And it's just so unique because, we go back and we think of guys like KJ Costello, who unfortunately hit some rough patches at Mississippi State, but did set that single game SEC passing record with 623 yards. That's a guy that doesn't move around a lot. And if you go back through just through the teams that run the air raid, especially in its purest form, like Nevada, Carson Strong didn't have a lot of mobility either. And so it's kind of interesting whenever you see a guy that it can not only just evade pressure, but is within an offense that is so based on the pass that can also do these things just on the ground.
Where do you rank him among the many talented college quarterbacks in the upcoming 2022 season?
Yeah, I have my number 7. I put him behind Jake Haener of Fresno State and ahead of Will Rogers of Mississippi State, who is also an air raid quarterback. The way that he handles this season and what we see at his just utmost capacity when he's healthy is going to have a lot to do with where he stands. I think he's going to be fighting the small school narrative like some of these other guys that I rank highly, like Grayson McCall. So I think he's going to be up against that in terms of the national rankings, but he's a guy that can definitely be on the rise this year.